G'day, Steve Morgan here, Australian Bass Tournaments. We have just concluded the 2024 Daiwa BREAM Australian Open, and I'm sitting here with our second place angler, a man who's won this event 2 times before.
Correct. Yep.
You're always putting in the big effort for Queensland, mate, showing that Queenslanders can travel down here and do well. Queenslanders second and third this year.
Yeah. It's I think it just suits our fishing. From being from Queensland, we come down here and it just suits what we do at home. So yeah, it's right in our hitting zone, I reckon.
I think it's because that we catch a 30 centimetre fork fish, we're stoked. In Sydney, they're like, oh, that's no good. They sort of throw it away. Their expectations are too high down here. But what a magnificent fishery it is. How many fish did you think you caught over the 3 days?
Mate, I was trying to work that out before. I reckon I must have been catching 40 fish a day. So yeah, some guys were saying like it was straight. Like I must have caught 10, 29 forkers in the last half hour just across there. So it is thick with fish.
Take us through your techniques. Your results were sort of all over the place. 2.9 kilos, then 4.1 kilos, and then a 3.5 kilo bag today that we thought was going to be enough to take it out. But then Daniel Bonacorso drops that giant bag, 4.6 kilos on the last day. That's what open dreams are made of, aren't they?
Yeah, mate, and that's when you win the Open, those sort of big fish stick every cast. Like that's what I was saying to my observer today. I had a few really good ones that come out and ate the lure and then spat the lure straight back out. And I just said to him, it's like, when you win the Open, those big fish stick.
Every big one sticks, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just your time.
And they don't swim around the anchor lines. They swim out in the open water, shake their head and go straight in the net.
Correct, yeah, they make it really easy.
You are a master of crankbaiting the boats, and I assume that's how you caught most of your fish this weekend.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, so I went down to the reef first up. Only spent an hour there. Wasn't going to die there this year.
You learned that lesson last year.
Yep, the hard lesson last year on day one. And then I ran around a few bays down east of the bridge and wasn't really catching anything. And I think it was probably 10:30, 11 o'clock almost before I put a fish in the bag over at Lane Cove, and I was just cycling through the boat holes.
Take us through the technique of how you do it, and I'm pretty sure I'll have some cutaway in the highlights from your observers showing how you do it, but run these guys through exactly what you do on a cast and how you tune your tackle to make it work good.
Yeah, okay, so I tune the lure to swim sideways, either left or right, whichever way you're more comfortable doing it, and it's just a small bend on the toe point of the lure. And yeah, just cast it up. You don't have to be super accurate because your lure's going to fish. You're going to swim back into the boat, which I think helps it. It doesn't spook the fish because you've got to try and make it a really accurate cast if it's not tuned. And sometimes if they're up high, it'll spook them down. So if you cast past the boat and out wider, it'll swim in real naturally, and then they see it. And 99% of the time, if they're up there, they'll eat it.
Take us through your outfit you used to do it. It's not straight through fluorocarbon, it's braid leader. Take us through what it is.
Yeah, okay, so it's a Zing Extreme C12. Have had that rod in the boat forever. It's a great rod, like I use that for everything, but it's just perfect. It's nice and light, really good cast. Use P.06 X braid and 6 pound leader, and it's only a pretty short leader as well, so and yeah, I've upgraded the hooks on them ones, on that lure there. It's got the decoy hooks. You can see it's a bit bent out and it's had a fair tune on that lure.
It's had some work today, hasn't it?
Yeah. No, that was the gun colour today. I don't know whether, when the sun comes out, I like to use the chrome because I think it's a little bit more flashy and it'll pull the fish sort of up from the other side as well.
So many fish caught today. Your big fish for the event was, I think, a 37 forker. Did it come just amongst the numbers of other fish, or is it a special bit of structure it came off?
No, it was probably the smallest boat in the pack of boats that I was fishing the last 2 days. And I caught a small one off the boat first, and I said to my observer, it's like, they're still schooled up. Like, it didn't spook him at all, and I said, they're still schooled up under it, and I had another cast under it, and he just come out and just chomped on it. So.
When you're catching kilo plus fish, especially in a difficult event like this one, they're worth gold, aren't they?
Yeah, mate, yeah. As I said, when you're on, like, those ones come out and eat your lure all the time.
Anyone you want to thank? You travel a lot doing all this sort of stuff. You were down in Victoria earlier in the year and you were a stalwart of the Open.
Yeah, mate, I want to thank you and Nicole first. That's you guys put on a great Open every year, and Daiwa, they're major sponsors of the Open, and it's just, it's a great event. If we weren't to fish any other BREAM event, this would be the one that you'd want to fish. Yep. And all my sponsors, Samaki, BLA, there's heaps, like Cranker, Sporties, so yeah, there's quite a few guys that get behind me and look after me, so very appreciative of everyone.
Well, I will be happy again that you've nearly done it. You've nearly been a 3-time Open winner, mate. You've got 2 firsts and a second now for the resume, mate. You're going to be back next year to have another crack, aren't you?
Totally, 100%.
There you go, Jamie McKeown, second place, 2024 Daiwa BREAM Australian Open.